Welcome to lesson 10 of our AI Bootcamp for non-technical investors. In our last lesson, we spawned 5 sub-agents, each of which was sent out to research one specific company. Today, we take that a step further and conduct wide research, that's an LLM term, on 20 companies, basically a small universe of companies. And the key here is that this is basically qualitative research at scale. So whereas screening, regular screening as we know it, is more quantitative in nature, maybe we want to find companies with a certain level of insider ownership or that meet specific valuation criteria on a quantitative scale. Wide research using an LLM like Perplexity Computer allows us to basically do qualitative triage at scale. And that's a really powerful concept because we don't have the time necessarily to go and qualitatively assess by reading SEC filings and other primary sources the investment merits of a large number of companies. And this is where an LLM can really assist us. But in order for this to be effective, we need to use a strict schema. In other words, we need to tell the LLM on what dimensions to analyze the companies we want to look at and what sources to use so that the output is verifiable. And this is what we're going to do in today's lesson. We're going to define a strict schema for the universe we pick, and the lesson plan has some good examples. You can literally lift, copy and paste from 5 different universe definitions and then copy paste 5 different schemas that match those universe definitions. Of course, you can also define your own. So we're going to use Perplexity Computer today to conduct that kind of wide research at scale. And then what we're going to do is we are going to do an accuracy pass, a check to see whether the output is a high confidence output or something we need to scrutinize further for errors, or maybe for whatever reason the output on a specific company was simply insufficient and we need to discard it or start from scratch. Now, what's really interesting about the schemas we will be defining and using is they have some very highly valuable definitions, fields, columns that will provide answers of great use to us as fundamental analysts. And so I got a lot of value out of running this myself. Summing things up, what I did here with Perplexity to edit the lesson plan was that instead of the original idea of having to input 20 companies and tickers yourself, that's still one path. We call it path B. And path A now in the lesson plan actually uses Perplexity Computer to find 20 matching companies for the universe definition that we are using. And I find that to be much more scalable because we may not always want to input specific tickers. It's cumbersome to do so. And it's also valuable for us to have Perplexity Computer or whatever LLM you're using unearth companies that fit your universe definition. This is almost like running a stock screener, but again, doing it on a more qualitative basis rather than purely quantitative. I hope you'll take some value from this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.